So when I switched to short films, to feature films, I wanted to start doing a triptych, not a trilogy, but a triptych, talking about three topics, the three worst insults in Guatemala, that we are supporting, protecting, and using all the time without taking care about how words can be aggressive or destroying. And the first insult is Indio, who is the exact example to say that we are a society with auto-discrimination, because in Guatemala more than 70% of the population are indigenous. And it's talking about racism. The second one is, the insult is gay. In Guatemala, to say gay, they said hueco, who means hole. And I wanted to talk about male homosexuality, because to me it's more than only homosexuality. It's talking about machismo and misogyny, because people in Guatemala think if you are a man and you decide be a gay man, you are a kind of refutando, ¿cómo se dice? Rejecting the fact that you are you have this power that is your phallus, and you want to be a little bit more woman, so means less. And so to me it was a crazy thing, and I wanted to tell the second insult with that. And the third insult is communist. And communist is nothing to do with the political way or the political ideology. It's just the insult that people give to somebody trying to respect human rights, or trying to respect the rights of the others, or trying to look for to fight against the impunity. And when I start, I didn't have very clear the way that I will make these films. I just knew that I didn't want to have a trilogy and putting the films in the same series, but I wanted to make a family of films. So I had this kind of freedom to do each film different. And so in La Llorona, there is a very real thing in the country, in my country. People don't want to talk about the problematic of our recent historic, because I think it's a strategy. In a school, we never talk about that in school. We never talk about that in a dinner. All the time people say, don't talk about political, don't talk about religion. And they are right in a way, because in Guatemala, talk about political is always if you are defending somebody, you are guerrillero, even if you are not. And so I was looking for the best way to talk about this topic, and I was looking to talk about these people crying about all these families or communities, these desaparecidas. And La Llorona came to me because it's a legend that in Mesoamerica, it's a Latin American legend, but in Mesoamerica it's very, very loved. People love La Llorona. And if you realize, La Llorona is a very misogynistic legend too. So I wanted to use this legend to transform the legend and to make a more justiciar woman, a more powerful woman, and not a woman crying because she kills her kids, but more a woman crying because she lost a lot of kids, more a kind of a motherland or a mother patria or a thing like that. So, and after that, it was to me a kind of a evident thing when we want to talk about a genocide, use horror to talk about that. the characters in the film are very important because I refuse to be inspired by all the political real people in my country. I think they don't deserve it, and I think they are not interesting for a film. That is the fact interest in the film is the whole society deciding use the law to say we had a genocide and we had a genocider, and a week after said, I'm so sorry, we just made a mistake and there is not genocide and there is not a genocider. So, but I wanted to use all the characters in the film in a very fiction way. And to me, the daughter Natalia in the film is the question that I want to put in the public. Is this question that even if we are born under this education, defending all these things that they are not defendable, we can change and we can start asking ourselves. And she's not doing a very big changement at the end, but she started understanding. And to me, the more important is if this generation start understanding the importance to have a critical thinking, they will permit the other generation growing up to be different. So, because we can change it like that, we have to make step by step. And the general is a lost case, and the mother and the daughter can open a little bit the door to make the way easier for the little daughter. That's real that in Latin America the present is not giving us this hope that the door will be open very soon. And it's for that films are so important, and it's for that our work can't be only an entertainment work. And because it's the only space that we can invite people to change a little bit. And in Guatemala, you know that in Guatemala more than 98% of films are American majors, but the American majors very entertainment American majors, and there is not a space for other kind of or mentality that just spend your time without think about real life. And so in this kind of sad situation, never art are be more important. And I don't know if we can really make a changement, but we have to do it. We have to try. Talking about this kind of society, represent society, you know, I opened a movie theater in Guatemala, the only movie theater in Guatemala showing independent movies. And I opened it in a space with a cultural center from the government. And we worked for 2 years. We bring to Guatemala 230 films. We could have 50,000 people coming to watch this kind of films, with 32 international people coming to talk about films. With I don't remember all these panels or discussion about society, human rights, and all that we could make in this space. And at the end of these 2 years, the government put it out because they tell us that they over their political are not in the same way that ours. So we don't have anymore this space. We are looking for another place to open again the theater. And it's very complicated because when I arrived to Guatemala after my studies in Europe, I wanted to say to the state, you have to be responsible about that. And okay, I can do a part of the work, but you have to help me. And now I understood, and I start thinking about I have to do that myself, because each one in Guatemala wanted a changeman have to do that by himself and fighting against this big power. So that's a sad reality. There is a little hope, in the fact that a state is a state, but there is sometimes some people, and these people are conscient, and these people are helping you in different ways, very smart ways. But the problem is, if the state changes these people, there is nothing establishing. So we depend all the time about one brilliant soul in a dark space like the state.